Hi, and welcome to Come Play with Meeples. My name is Joe, and today we are continuing our playthrough of the Midnight Masks. So far, Rex and Agnes were able to capture Wolfman Drew and have located 2 other cultists along with an acolyte. Will they survive this night and succeed in finding more cultists before the strike at midnight? I'm anxious to find out, so let's get started. Welcome back. So I think at this point what we're going to do is we're going to have Rex get rid of this masked hunter. He really needs to get rid of him. Thankfully, Lita is here to help him. So that means at least he'll get the 2 damage when we do make a hit. So if we use this mind over matter, then he'll be able to use his investigation instead of his might, which will be 5 to 4. I'd like to see that be a little bit better. But at least for 1 turn, we could use that one there. So we're going to spend the resource. So this whole turn, it's fast. And then this whole turn for him, he'll be able to use his investigation skill instead. So for the first one, let's use the lab assistant to make that 5 plus 1 is 6 to 4. And we've got 0. So then he does take 2 damage. Okay, so for Rex's second turn, that's right, he does have plus 2 health per investigator, so he actually has 8 health, so there's no way that he's going to get rid of him this turn alone. So I do feel like he does need to evade him. I wish he would have had his trench coat down, because that would help. However, we're going to have 3 to 2. And with an evade of 3 to 2, I think he's going to need a couple of attempts at this, just to make sure. So we are going to make it 3 to 2. There's nothing he can do about it right now. Should have done this first, but oh well. 3 to 2, so he actually passes. So now the masked hunter is exhausted in the graveyard. That was his second action. Now for his third action, he could try to hit him again or get that trench coat down. I think I want him to get that trench coat down so he can evade him again the next time. So we're going to get this down, cost 3. And then he gets plus 1 evade during evasion attempts. And the 3 resources. So that was his third action. So now we go to Agnes. For her first action, she is going to move to the river town, and that makes the acolyte attached to her. So for her second action, she is going to use her wither spell as a power of 7 to 3. That should be more than enough. 7 to 3, 6 to 3. She succeeds, gets rid of the acolyte along with his doom. And then for her third action, I could either have her go with, no, I don't want her to be with Peter because then she's going to get hit at the end of the round. So for now, she's just going to go into the graveyard. She's going to get this test. Forced, after you enter the graveyard, test your willpower 3. And I'm not even going to worry about if she fails because she does have 5. Well, there is a minus 3 in there. Could use this. Otherwise, she's going to have too many cards soon here anyway. So let's make it 6 to 3, so only the auto fail would make her fail. She pulls minus 1. So she's safe to be in there now. That exhausts her for the turn. Now we go to the enemy phase. So Peter's not a hunter, so nothing's going to happen there. The masked hunter is exhausted, so nothing's going to happen there. Now everyone would attack if there was somebody in their threat area, but there's not. And now we go back to the upkeep phase. So we flip the characters. Ready all exhausted cards, so now he's going to be ready. And he is going to go with the one with the most clues, so he's going to go back to Rex there. Everybody's going to get a card in a crate. Rex is completely out of cards, and now he draws his survival knife. So that could help him if he can get that down. And Agnes draws Unexpected Courage. I love that double multiple wild. And now we go back to the top of the order, the Mythos phase. We place one Doom on the agenda. Now there's only 1 to 8, so we're fine. And now everybody draws from the encounter deck. Rex will draw first, and he draws False Lead. If you have no clues, False Lead gains Surge, meaning we just grab a new card. If you have one or more clues, test your intelligence 4. For each point you fill at, place one of your clues at your location. So since he has investigation skill of 5 to 4, that's pretty good. Even if he has to drop some at the graveyard, it only has a shroud of 1. So I am just going to leave that there. 5 to 4. Oh, that makes it 0 to 4, and that means he has to drop 4 clues. For each point you fail by, place one of your clues on your location. That is a bummer. So now it's Agnes's turn to draw a card, and she draws Obscuring Fog. So this is the one that will make the shroud level +2, since we just dropped 4 clues there, but it only lasts for 1. Once they successfully investigate, we can get rid of the Obscuring Fog. So now we're back to the investigator phase. So Rex now has an evade skill of 4 to a test of 2. And we're just going to go with that, and we get -1. So he successfully evaded the Masked Hunter. So he's going to go here, all exhausted. And now Rex is free to start investigating because he's no longer engaged with the Masked Hunter. So we're going to go with the 5 to a shroud of 1, +2 because of the Obscuring Fog. So it's 5 to 3. Is there anything we can do to help? Not really. So we just got to go with 5 to 3. And we pull -1. So it makes it 4 to 3, so he only gets 1 clue. But he does get rid of the Obscuring Fog now, because he successfully investigated. So for his third action, he's going to investigate again. Now it's only 5 to 1. And he succeeds, so now he gets 2 clues. And he's done. Now for Agnes's turn, I think she's just going to use this Withering spell and pound away at this Masked Hunter. He is evaded, so he can't hit back or anything like that. So with the skill of 7 against 4, she succeeds, and since Lita Chandler is now in this location, she also deals 2 damage. So for her second turn, she's going to do the exact same thing. 7 to 4, 6 to 4, she succeeds, another 2. And he's actually got a health of 8, and he's up to 6, so we'll do it one more time, and maybe he will be gone. And he is. 2 more on him. Brings him to 8. And we can put him in the victory display. That brings an end to Agnes's turn. Enemy phase, nobody's engaged with an enemy. So now we can go to the upkeep phase. Everybody gets flipped over. Everybody gets a card and a crate. Rex draws deduction. And Agnes draws her astral travel. And she has 8 cards, so she's still fine. Agnes, time to use up some of your cards. So that brings us back to the Mythos phase. So we add a Doom to the counter. Draw a card here for Rex. Man, and he gets Haunting Night Gaunt. It's a hunter. While attempting to evade Hunting Night Gaunt, double the negative modifier of each revealed chaos token. And it attaches right to Rex. And then for Agnes, we get Mysterious Chanting, Revelation. Place 2 Doom on the nearest cultist enemy. If there are no cultist enemies in play, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a cultist enemy, draw it, and shuffle the encounter deck. So this one here is not a cultist. He's a monster, Night Gaunt. Here's a cultist, Peter Warren. So then we have to place 2 Doom on him. So now it's become much more important to get to Peter and deal with him to get rid of the 2 Doom on him as well. So now we go back to the investigator phase. We do have to deal with this Haunting Night Gaunt. So I think what I'll do is I'll have Agnes go first. Hopefully in 2 hits with Lyta here, she can get rid of the Night Gaunt. That will leave her 1 action remaining, and we'll push her to Rivertown. Then for Rex's turn, he could use the deduction, making that skill test 6 to 1. Hopefully he succeeds by 2 and we'll get all 3 clues, all in 1 turn. Then he could move as well. Well, we'll figure out what he'll do at that point. So why don't we start with Agnes here. She has her Withering spell, so that's going to be 7 to 3. Plus 1, so she gets 2 damage on him. Gonna do it a second time. Plus 1, so that puts 4 on him. Oh, it was 3, but that's fine. That's where we're at now. So now the Night Gaunt is gone. So for her 3rd action, might not be a bad idea to actually spend the 4 clues now. I think that's what she's going to do for her turn. I'm going to spend the 4 clues here for her 3rd turn and draw another cultist. Let's see where he appears so we know where we got to go. And this one is going to be at the north side. And that is Agnes's turn. So like I said, for Rex, his first one, he's going to use this deduction. So he's got a base of 4 plus 1 plus 1 is 6 to a skill of 1. Just not the auto fail. Minus 1, so that makes it 5 to 1. So he beat it by 4. So his ability kicks in, plus he gets an extra 1 because of the deduction, and he gets all the clues. That was 1 turn for him. For his 2nd action, wish he had 1 more so he could actually deal with Peter. This is hard. I want to spend the clues, but if I spend the clues, then he won't have anything to parlay with Peter Warren. But am I really going to have him parlay with Peter Warren anyway? Because we don't have enough tokens. I'm also worried about if we're going to run out of time anyway. So for a second action, because I can see some fighting having to get involved, and if we could have him have his survival knife, with his second hand, I'll just move Lita over there because hopefully by now you guys know exactly what she does. You can still kind of see her. That's going to cost 2 resources. And then for his third action, let's spend the clues. And find another cultist. This is Ruth Turner, and she's going to spawn at the hospital. Oh, so if you can just evade her, that's another way. So that's good. Each one seems to have a different way in order to defeat them. So that brings us to the end of the investigator phase. So he'll flip. We go to enemy phase, and nobody is a hunter. So they're all just going to stay where they are. And that brings us to our upkeep phase. We flip the characters over. Everybody gets a card and a crate. Rex gets emergency cash. And Agnes finds arcane studies. 4, 6, 8, 9 cards now. So she's going to have to get rid of something. And I think she will get rid of this weaker withering spell. So she's back to 8 cards. Okay, so that's the end of the upkeep phase. And we'll go back to the Mythos phase. And I think we'll do one more round. And then we'll end this episode. And then hopefully we can finish it off in the next episode. For the Mythos phase, we now add another Doom to the agenda. That now brings us to 5 of 8, but hopefully we can get rid of those 2 on Peter. So we get another encounter card for Rex, and he pulls Cryptic Chill. Test your willpower for, if you fail, choose and discard 1 asset you control. If you cannot, take 2 damage instead. So once again, his willpower is 3. Nothing else to help us. There's absolutely nothing else to help us. We are in the same location. So 3 to 4. And if you fail, choose and discard 1 asset. So you get to choose. At this point, to actually lose the magnifying glass is not an issue. Because there's no clues left on the board. We do have one more there we can get. So we are just going to test 3 to 4, most likely fail. We have maybe 2 out of 16 chance here to pass. Or we lose our magnifying glass. -2. We were going to lose no matter what we did. So he loses the magnifying glass, and that gets discarded. And now Agnes's encounter card. She has the Wizard of the Order. It's another cultist. Spawns at an empty location. Will retaliate. Forced at the end of the Mythos phase, place 1 Doom on the Wizard of the Order. So that's going to start stacking that up as well. So we definitely just want to get rid of him too. An empty location, I think that just refers to no clues. So I'm going to put that there because I want to deal with him. So we are now at the end of the Mythos phase, so he actually already gets a Doom. So I could have Rex try to fight him. Would be a skill of 2 to 4, but we get an extra one here for 3, plus an extra one here for 4. They are in the same location, so she could use her unexpected courage to make it 6 to 4. And then with Lita here, would take 1 hit to kill him. So I think that is what I'm going to do. Yeah, let's do that. So he's now here. So now we get to choose, because there's no attachment requirement, so we'll make him attached to Rex. Rex will go first. She's got to start using up some of these cards, so she's going to use Unexpected Courage for the extra 2 to help Rex out here with his initial skill of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4. 6 to 4. 0, so he succeeds, killing off the Wizard of the Order, getting rid of the 1 Doom. That was 1 turn. So I keep being afraid to get in there and fight some of these guys, but we're going to have to do something. We're starting to run out of time. For Rex's second action, we are going to go to Rivertown, and for his third, we are going to go to Northside, which means Victoria here is going to attach to Rex at this point already. So he will take 1 hit, but right now he is good for 11 and he only has 2. And then I'm going to get him to do that next turn just to save some time. So next we go to Agnes. For her turn, she's going to use this Astral Travel. It'll cost 3 resources. And it says move to any revealed location and reveal a random token from the Chaos Bag. If you reveal one of these symbols, you must discard an item or an asset you control. So I'm going to spend the 3 resources. I think I'm going to have her move down to the St. Mary's here, actually. I just don't see her being able to evade. Evade of 3. Make it 4, that's not nearly enough. So then she's just going to be fighting her. But first we have to see if we pull a symbol on this one. And pulls a -1, so it's fine. So that was 1, which means Ruth Turner attaches to Agnes. Now for Ruth's second action, she'll use her Wither spell. That will make it 7 to 2 plus 1, so that's 1 hit. For her third action, same thing, 0, makes a second hit. We'll flip her over. Now we go to the enemy phase, and we actually have enemies engaged, so based right off of here, Rex gets 1 damage, which we'll put on him. And same thing for Agnes. She gets 1 hit. It's only 1 of 6, but that's okay. And now we go to the upkeep phase. So we flip the tokens. Ready all exhausted cards. Get a resource each. And a card. So Rex gets his physical training. And Agnes gets her shriveling spell again. So she's got both copies of that. Still got 7 cards, so she used up a few this time. And now we would go to the Mythos phase. A Doom token there. And we each get an encounter card. So Rex pulls false lead. If you have no clues, he doesn't have clues, this gains surge. So that just means discard it and draw a new one. Now he has an acolyte. At any empty location, place a doom on him. Okay, so I just double checked the rule. An empty location says without any enemy or investigator in it. So I made that mistake earlier. I won't do that mistake again. So I will put him in Rivertown. And now for Agnes, we need to reshuffle this deck. Now she draws an encounter card. Obscuring Fog. Attached to your location, limit once per location. So we just put that here. Since we already have the clues, it doesn't really affect us. So now we will go to the investigator phase. So now we run into a problem that at the next Mythos phase, we're going to add 1 doom to the agenda. If we don't take care of the Acolyte and Peter, we will have 8, and that will force us, the clock will strike midnight, and we will not have enough time to get out of here. So we're going to have to deal with at least one of these. That did not go according to my plan. Now with these cultists swarming us, we're running into a bit of a trouble here, but I still don't want to give up hope on finding all 6 cultists. I'm not ready to give up yet. So what I think I'm going to do is, Rex is going to take a few hits here. So he is first going to spend 5 resources to gain 2 clues. So he's going to spend 5 resources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He'll get 2 clues. However, because Victoria's engaged with him, she does get an attack of opportunity and will hit him for 1. And I will just assign that to him. Okay. Now for his second action, he's actually going to move down to the Miskatonic University. So again, that will give Victoria an attack of opportunity. So he's going to take 1 more hit, and we're going to assign that to Lita. And that also means Peter is now also engaged with him. Then for his third action, he's going to fight Peter with his skill of 2, 3, 4 to 2. 4 to 2, this is good. That makes it 3 to 2, so he succeeds. He gets 2 hits on him, and since he fought him, there's no attack of opportunity on that. However, that does exhaust Rex. Don't know if that's going to be the smartest move. That'd take a few hits, but I just see so much damage that he can now soak up. 2, 3, and 6 is 11. I think 2 will be okay. So now we're going to have Agnes here. I think she's just going to first move also to the Miskatonic University, and that means Ruth is going to have an attack of opportunity on her. I'll hit her for 1. But now she can use her Withering spell on Ruth, and since they're in the same location, it will be 2 damage with Lita there. So 7 minus 2 is 5, beats the 2. 2 damage onto Ruth. That is enough to get rid of her. She will go into the victory display. Then for Agnes's third turn, she again is going to use the Withering spell directly onto Peter. It's 7 to 2. If she misses, then it's Rex that takes the hit, but 7 to 2, I feel pretty good about that. She pulls the skull. Skull is the highest number of doom on a cultist enemy in play, which would be 2. So that makes it 5 to 2. She still hits him for 2. And then he has 4 of 3 damage, so he's gone along with that doom. He also goes into the victory display. So they had a very, very successful turn there. I think we turned this around a little bit. Had to take a few hits, but they got 4 of the 6 cultists already. So then we go to the enemy phase. Nobody moves. Rex will take another hit here from Victoria, and we'll assign that one to the trench coat. And now we go to the upkeep phase. We flip the characters. Everybody gets a resource and another card. So now he got his basic weakness. Revelation. Add psychosis to your threat area. After you take 1 or more horror, take 1 direct damage, and it would take 2 action points to discard psychosis. So that is now going to sit in his area, and we are running out of room for you guys to see. We'll just add it to the back here. So hopefully you can still see that. Now you can't quite see Victoria here either. And then for Agnes, she pulls her leather coat. That could help her with some damage. So again, that brings us to the mythos phase, but I'm definitely going to end it there now. So this will be the end of this part. Hopefully we will finish this up on the next part. So will Rex and Agnes find any more cultists? They've already found 4 of the 6. Can they find a couple more before the strike of midnight? Join us next time and come play with Meeples.